Welcome back to another episode of Future Link, the podcast where we dive into the cutting-edge world of technology, innovation, and how it's reshaping our lives. I'm your host, Brad Smith, Neuralink Patient 3. Thanks to this incredible brain-computer interface, I'm able to communicate, create, and host this show right from my mind. If you're new here, I have ALS, which left me nonverbal, but Neuralink has given me a voice again, literally. Today, we're tackling something close to the heart of innovation, the Boring Company's Vegas Loop. Specifically, I'm going to debunk a recent YouTube video that's been making waves, titled, "The Vegas Loop is Getting Progressively More Stupid," hosted by Ray Delahanty from the CityNerd's channel. Ray takes a ride through the system and levels some heavy criticisms, but I think he's missing the bigger picture. We'll break it down with facts, quotes from Ray himself, and real data on the project's progress. Stick around. This is going to be a deep dive into why the Vegas Loop isn't stupid. It's revolutionary. First, let's set the stage. The video, uploaded on August 6, 2025, is an update on the Boring Company's Vegas Loop, 3 years after Ray's initial coverage. He rides the system, points out what he sees as flaws, and ties it into broader critiques of Elon Musk's ventures. Ray's tone is sarcastic and skeptical, calling the project progressively more stupid. Right in the title, he highlights issues like slow progress, lack of oversight, operational challenges, and comparisons to existing transit like the Las Vegas Monorail. He even references articles questioning safety and efficiency. One key quote from Ray:
"Well, it's 3 years later, and I went back to Vegas to see how things are progressing. I wanted to compare the hype to the reality of the way this thing is actually rolling out. And some of what I saw is truly insane, but before..."
Now, on the surface, this sounds like praise, but it's dripping with irony. He's implying the project is a mess, yet cities like Nashville are jumping on board, which he sees as foolish. But let's counter this with facts. As of 2025, the Vegas Loop has already transported over 3 million passengers across its operational sections. That's not a flop. That's real-world usage proving demand. And Nashville? They're not blindly following hype. They've started digging for their own Music City Loop, with visible progress near the state capitol as of August 12, 2025. If it's so stupid, why is a major city investing in a similar system? It's because the loop offers point-to-point transport without the gridlock of surface traffic, something traditional systems struggle with. Ray also leans on external sources to bolster his critique. He references a ProPublica article titled "Elon Musk's Boring Company is Tunneling Beneath Las Vegas with Little Oversight," suggesting the project dodges regulations and poses safety risks. Fair point to raise, but let's look at the facts. Clark County and the city of Las Vegas have approved an expansion to 68 miles of tunnels and 104 stations. That's not little oversight. That's rigorous governmental greenlighting after reviews. The Boring Company has operational connectors like the Resorts World, Westgate, and Encore, all up and running without major incidents reported in 2025. In fact, new stations opened this year, including at Westgate in January and Encore in May, showing steady, safe expansion. Compare that to traditional transit projects, which often face years of delays due to bureaucracy. The Loop's modular design allows for faster build-out with less disruption. Another claim Ray nods to is from an Electrek article: "Tesla self-driving still not working. Boring Company one-way tunnels," implying tech failures and inefficiency. He uses this to question the Loop's viability, especially since vehicles in the tunnels are Teslas with autonomous potential. But here's the counter. The Vegas Loop is designed for up to 90,000 passengers per hour in its final form, with transit times as low as 2 to 8 minutes between key spots like the airport and stadium. As of May 2025, the Boring Company accelerated expansions, including plans to connect Harry Reid International Airport, with site selections underway by June. Self-driving tech is evolving. Tesla's full self-driving has improved dramatically by 2025. But even without full autonomy, the system works with human drivers, reducing congestion compared to surface roads. Ray compares it unfavorably to the monorail, but the monorail is linear and limited. The loop is a network, scalable to 20 stations per square mile on the strip. And let's not forget the monorail's troubled history. It filed for bankruptcy in 2010 due to low ridership and massive debt, exiting in 2012 after restructuring. Then, in 2020, it filed again amid COVID shutdowns, leading to its assets being sold to the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority for just $24.26 million. That's two bankruptcies for a system that's been criticized for inefficiency, while the loop keeps expanding without such financial collapses. That's unprecedented coverage and resilience. Let's dive deeper into the costs because Ray glosses over the financial genius here. The LVCC Loop, the core of the system, was built for about $48.7 million, a fixed-price contract that delivered 1.7 miles of tunnels and 3 stations in just 1 year. Compare that to the next cheapest option. A competing bid from Doppelmayr for a people mover system came in at over $215 million. That's more than 4 times the cost, nearly 5x traditional subways or trains. They run $100 million to $1 billion per mile, making the loop's $10 to $60 million per mile a game changer. And get this, even operating with human drivers for years, which it is right now, the system is still cheaper than a train. No massive rail infrastructure, no fixed schedules eating up labor costs, just efficient on-demand rides. Operating costs per passenger mile are estimated as low as 68 cents, blowing away urban transit averages. But Ray doesn't think about money like this. After all, as a former urban planner and traffic engineer who's spent 2 decades in the field, he's used to spending other people's money on public projects that often balloon in cost. Innovation like the loop saves taxpayer dollars, something skeptics in bureaucracy might overlook. Now, let's address a glaring oversight in Ray's video. He rides the system and criticizes its current state, but ignores that he's literally experiencing a transit system in process. What type of train can do that? Traditional rail systems shut down lines for construction, causing massive disruptions. But the Vegas Loop, parts are fully operational while others are being built. For example, the LVCC Loop has been running since 2021, serving convention attendees even as connectors like Encore were added in 2025 without halting service. Ray's ride proves the point. You can use it today, flaws and all, while it expands. No subway or train line lets you ride half-built tracks safely. This modular approach is genius, allowing iterative improvement without the all-or-nothing builds of legacy transit. Ray also touches on broader skepticism, like a review journal piece aiming for the loop to be operational by Super Bowl 58 in 2024, which it partially met and has since grown. But critics like Bloomberg in July 2025 called it a $900 million flop, citing cost concerns and efficiency promises. Counter, infrastructure experts may see red flags, but the numbers don't lie. The boring company's tunneling costs are far lower than traditional methods, about $10 million per mile versus $1 billion for subways, and with 3 million plus riders, it's generating revenue and tourism boosts. Elon Musk himself posted on X. Vegas Loop is expanding rapidly, soon connecting the entire city. That's from 2024, but 2025 updates confirm it, with airport links in view. Wrapping this up, Ray's video is entertaining, but it's short-sighted. Innovation like the Vegas Loop, or Neuralink for that matter, faces skeptics early on. Remember, I'm speaking to you via a brain implant that sounded sci-fi a few years ago. The loop isn't perfect yet, but it's progressing. 68 miles approved, new stations opening, millions riding, and cities copying it. Ray ignores the in-process nature, but that's what makes it groundbreaking. What train lets you ride while it's still growing? None. The future isn't about criticizing the beta, it's about building it. Thanks for tuning into FutureLink. If you enjoyed this debunk, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts. I'm Brad Smith, proof that tech changes lives. See you next time.